this early. So at this point, everything's out in the open. The clock is ticking, basically, so to speak. And here we've got Terran moving out, myself moving out, and the Templar Archive's going down, thinking that he needs immediate Dark Templars if he wants to counter this. I don't think Templar Archives was the best choice here, because we've got a comsat station already up which can spot Dark Templars. The Dark Templars can delay for a while. We've got a shield battery there because he's just basically in panic mode at this point, knowing he's about to get crushed by Marine Rush and Tank Rush. But instead of building Templar Archives, I probably would have just invested a bit more on Zealots and Dragoons, just to try and delay things and eventually have enough units to push this back. But there you go. The Marines are able to keep the Dragoons from coming into such a close range. Meanwhile, the tanks just slowly siege up, and when you're in this sort of position, you can sort of move forward some of the tanks some of the time, leapfrog your way in, and I've brought some SCVs in. Anticipating actually him getting either High Templars or Dark Templars, so the SCVs are here to build missile turrets. There's his Dark Templars there, just in case that he tries to run out with Dark Templars or tries to get some kind of air rush going on. Don't really know how that'll work, but just in case, a turret's always a good idea if you're doing this kind of attack with Terran tanks without Vulture support. Getting some turrets in there, they help for sight range, and they help for shooting down shuttles, help for a lot of things, Dark Templars, so it's just generally a good idea to bring in your SCVs if this sort of thing's going to happen. Not many Dragoons, and very tough position here because the tanks are virtually unassailable, and they've got such long range that, there you go, Dragoons flattened. And we've got a Dark Templar there, but he can't do anything because the turrets are being built there. Actually, turret's not up yet, so the Dark Templar just rampaging through, chopping down the Marines, but we've got the probes going back to the main base because they know that second Nexus isn't going to last for very long. You might have seen down at the 6 o'clock expansion, we were going to expand, but the Protoss has not expanded yet and decided not to, of course, because he spotted the rush. We've got Dark Templars there. Shuttle being built, if you noticed that. So that's not a bad idea, getting some Dark Templars out of the way to just counterattack the Terran base. If you've got tanks at your doorstep with missile turrets and support, you can't really move out the Dark Templars in close range. Tanks sieging up next to the ridge, they're just shelling, obliterating the Protoss natural expansion, and in that sort of position they'll be able to shoot anything that comes down the ramp, as well as just shooting over the cliff and just blasting the Protoss gateways. We've got more gateways coming down the back, but will it be enough? Here we go. We've got a shuttle planning on dropping a probe down to the island expansion at the bottom left, just in the hopes of just coming back into this game, maybe sacrificing this main base after a long time and just buying enough time to get some new bases going up down into the island's expansion and the 6 o'clock expansion. But there are a lot of tanks here, and it just depends on how fast you can move. Basically, I've got tanks sieged up underneath the cliff and just coming in over top of the cliff. Here's the shuttle coming in now. 2 Dark Templars. We're going to have to do a lot of damage here if we're going to hold back the Terrans, basically. If it was possible to take out the entire Terran main base with those 2 Dark Templars, and you know it is possible if you have a bit of luck and some micromanagement there, then there's a chance of staying in this game if you can get your island expansion or other expansions up. But let's see how this goes. There's a scan goes off. SCV is going out to attack the Dark Templar. Moves away, rightly so. The scan's gone off. You can't really do anything, but there's the Terran expansion there, which you can take out. We haven't started a Nexus yet, but we've got a Nexus going down at the 6 o'clock position. It's just there's no probes mining there, and the tanks are moving up. He, attacking the Terran natural expansion with the Dark Templar. There's no turrets there. There's only 1 scan sweep, so not too much energy to go around with that. We've got a force of Dragoons and Zealots building up at the back of the Protoss base, potentially ready to counterattack, but again, it's very difficult in this position where you've got some Marines alive to protect the tanks, and you've got tanks that just keep shelling the Protoss base, and time is more or less on the side of the Terran at this point in time. It doesn't really have to worry too much about resources, because with just 1 Terran base, it's not too hard to stay alive versus a Protoss, which is also on 1 base. especially since the Protoss doesn't have any probes going, and we haven't started another base there. There's a base at the 6 o'clock, but there's not that many probes mining at it, so there's not too much to worry about for the Terran. And just taking its time here, we've got Dragoons and just a couple of Zealots ready to counterattack, but again, you need more Zealots than that if you're going to push back at this sort of thing, and Marines with medic support are actually quite difficult to kill with Zealots. It's just that you don't see that very often in Terran versus Protoss matchup. And here we go, there's the Marine stem packing and moving in. Terran force are aware of the Protoss force at this time, so we've got a base coming back alive in this 6 o'clock position, just trying to recover. Since we've got Terran forces aware of the Protoss forces this time, just putting down a bunker and a supply depot just to stave them off. But once the Dragoons come into the tanks, blam! That's end of the road for the Dragoons. And we've got a Dark Templar running in. There's no scan going off, so it's just swiping some of these tanks at some point, but it's only going to be a matter of time before the scan goes off, and there it is. Dark Templar gets blown up. So that's the Nexus down. We've got another Nexus at the 6 o'clock position, but at this point there's no more Dark Templars at the Terran base. We've got a double command center at the Terran base, and that's it. The game has ended. So, yeah, thanks for watching this replay. It's not the most serious replay. Shout outs to my friends at